Mistake is where? Is yours or the industry. Mistake is where? Your marketing, your sales, your client space, your strategies, and your thinking, and your whatever you think, and whatever are you practicing whatever you think in your mind, or else only you thinking and leaving. These are the reasons we're going to talk about today, the $1 million question. That's you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, am I satisfied for real estate industry? If not, what I had to do to get better? Now, can you imagine we have 630 salespeople, and the morning here, 40 agents are here. But where is other ones? I'm not saying everybody has to come to the training, but it's a Zoom. Anybody can click in the phone and listen. But only issue I have. Don't get me wrong. I like this industry. I like this my position. I like to train you guys. The only problem I have, someone call and they don't come to the training. But you guys are here. You guys are good people. So I don't advise you guys, whoever is there right now, come and say, this is my first deal. This is my first deal. I want to do. I need your help. Example, American Army or any armies in the army camp. Are they sleeping, eating and sleeping? No. They are practicing every day to ready for the war. You guys, you all seen the Olympic, Japan Olympic, because everybody like to see Olympic, whether we are sports or not, because we like to see the humans' talent. Humans talent each other. We like to see that one supporting our countries. How many years they went to the training? Even Japan Olympics said they don't like to do it this year because of the pandemic, but they don't want the participant, instead of 4 years, already 5 years, we don't want to wait until another year to 6 years for the next year. That's the reason they said they want to do this year. How many times they are doing the practice and participating? What we are doing it as a real estate, we are making money. Nobody make money like us. Everybody is jealous with our real estate industry. Even though pandemic, every industry went down different level. What we did, we made more money. Then we have opportunity to make money. In case you don't make money, you have opportunity to make money. But where is the mistake here now? Okay, the real estate industry is one of the best industry. The reason, the product and the people who are buying it are different variety of products. Like pre-construction, before the house build, we can make money. Existing condos, townhouses, houses, farmland, industrial land, commercial land, office building, we can name it. And the area, Toronto, Belleville, we can move from Toronto district, Toronto real estate board. We can move out anywhere we like to go. Plenty of properties are there. And the buyers are different kind of buyers, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, 40s. They all looking for the different product. In that case, what is blocking you? You definitely be comfortable with one kind of peoples and one kind of properties. Find which one you like and which kind of age group people, which kind of income group people you like it, and which kind of property you like, which area you like. You like to drive to different areas and sell it, or else you want to do it in the Toronto region. Everything is your hand. Everything is your hand. Today I'm going to talk about database. As I said, there are so many ways you can find the clients, the different level of clients. Okay, there are so many pillars for real estate industry. The pillars are your friends and families, friends to friends, group of peoples, plus unknown. Unknown is a big, huge unknown. No limitation for the unknown peoples. We have to go out there, farming, cold calling, place distribution, that's farming. And many ways we can do it. And one of the way is a database follow-up. I have over 50 agents are here in the group. If anybody is more than 3 years and you don't have a database follow-up every month, you have to feel where are you lacking. I'm not saying everybody has to do database follow-up. We are good in, some people is good in technology, some people is good in physical door knocking, everything. This is one of the way, guys. It's very easy. These days, the computers are very easy. We don't have to be very fluent in IT side. Anybody can, you start. For example, what I am trying to say, you have to have every single one of you must have the database. That database, you have to follow it in every 2 weeks for don't stop. What you going to, okay, first you have to collect the information. You have to collect the information to your friends, families, even the first circle, second circle doesn't matter. You can send the email. They don't like it. They can simply leave it. Okay. The email is better, or even WhatsApp groups. Okay, WhatsApp groups is getting too much now. In that case, email is going to give you more professional look and more professional method of sharing the information. Doesn't matter. You can even make the group in the free WhatsApp too. And every 2 weeks you have to follow. What are you going to do every 2 weeks? You have to give the information. Give some values first to other person. Then only they will come to you. What are the values you're going to give? For example, where are you going to first to create the database? Creating the database, you don't need to go and buy the major CRM websites or anything. You can do it your own. You can even group people in your regular Gmail. 250 people you can make as one group. You can make, if you have more than 250, you can make as a group one, group two, and it's free of charges. So you can do it once in every 15 days. Then it's not going to be spam. You can do that one. You group of people, take the group of people and collect the information. What are you going to collect the information? For example, you can collect the information for the new builders information. You can collect information for the inflation side, money value side, and every every Friday evening, you can visit the bank website. Or else if you want the detail, ask Kannan, ask Noon, different people, they can give you guys where you can get the information for the financial side information. Get those ones and send it to different week, different information. People started like, some people like the financial side, interest rate side. Again, interest rate went down yesterday, I believe. A little bit, did it to some basis point. Yes, slight changes, but slight changes you can make as a big changes anyway. For the message side, try to send some information. Don't ask them every 2 weeks, sell your house and buy other house, sell your house and buy your house. We don't want that one. Just to remember they had to remember who you are and send some information. Please create the database and follow it up the database every 2 weeks. Different information, guys. That's the way you can communicate. That's the way you can targeting your known peoples. How many known peoples buying the property from other person? You can't even think about it. Many known peoples buying the property from a different person. Why? Other person is approaching. You are not approaching it. That's the reason. Database is very important. As I said one time, one of the senior agent, it's not our company agent, one of the senior agent from Century 21. The time I started 95, he was one of the top producing in Century 21, first 3 in Canada. Sometime he was in first 1, I believe. Then many years later, people maybe go down. But one of the condo sell, he fan of Mike Ferry. He always follow Mike Ferry's training from the beginning and until now. He created the database and he sent out all the database clients for the condo opening. Surprisingly, that condo, downtown condo, he became a top producer, top salesperson in that particular condo. What he did, only database, send out the information. And who signed the papers? Builder signed the papers. Who get the commission? He got the commission. Guys, your mind is the one block. Your mind is open. Your money is there. Okay, look at everywhere. If you don't have a database, please start. At least 10 people today, 20 people today. Every day add few people in your database. Start to send out the e-letters. E-letters, you don't have to put in English to write the e-letters. Cut and paste. Even newspaper people. I know many people are running the newspaper. They don't even know how to write the headlines. They are just cut and paste from different papers. We are sending all the information. If you start a database group, what are you going to do? After 3 months, after 4 months, you're going to call them for the barbecue in the park, or else Christmas in the evening. All your database group. You definitely get the lead. Definitely get the lead. The statistics here is showing if you have 100 people in the database, 3 clients, 3 deals, you can get it from the database alone. 3%, minimum 3%. If you have 500, that's enough for you. 15, that's the only pillar is enough to make the deal. If you don't have a database, start a database and be creative and send them messages. Okay. All right. If anybody have any questions, send it to Kanna or put it in the chat box. We will discuss. We're going to start today. The question I get from the salesperson. I am new. I'm new to this industry. And what I can do. I don't have any clients right now. I have to find the clients from the referrals and different sources. And what I can do. Another girl, she been in the industry for a while, and he said she doesn't have much deals, and she started to apply for the job. That's the reason I'm talking about this as a first heading. Okay. Again, if you are a new agent, you don't have a class. What you have to do, you have to get familiar with real estate. First, you have to write the business plan for yourself. Write a business plan, basic business plan. Rather than the business plan, daily schedule. Daily schedule, you make it yourself. You must make a schedule. You have to make a schedule, and you have to follow the schedule every single day. What time you wake up? How many minutes do you go to the exercise? Everybody we know we have to do so many things, but we are lacking. Why? Our busy life, busy schedule, and we don't get a priority. That's the reason we are lacking. Okay, you have to make a schedule, and you have to put a tick mark. How many minutes I'm going to exercise in the morning? What I have to do? Motivational YouTubes. You can get it from the Mike Ferry side, Richard Robbins side, David Knox side. So many other trainers are there. Get it in the YouTube. I'm telling the major real estate, but you can find it in the YouTube. Good motivational one in the mornings. Please listen 5-10 minutes and bring your energy up. Bring your energy up. So everybody, for us, the energy level goes up and down. You have to bring it up every single day. And how many prospects you can do every day? How many minutes you can do the prospecting every day? What kind of prospecting method? I like it. Delivering the flyers, calling the people, or sending the database, meeting people. Many ways you can do it. Many ways you can do it. And before you go to daily planner, basic one, workable one. Don't put it too much when you're writing down and finally not to do anything. Okay, write basic one. And before you go to bed, every real estate agent, what you have to do? Look at the MLS in your target area. How many of you are not doing it? If you feel yourself you're not doing it, you are not a real estate agent. You are not in the market. You don't know the market. Until somebody asks you, you are going to see how many new listings coming in Ajax or how many new leads coming in C1 Toronto. You are not in the market. You are not informed market, but you have access. You're paying the money. You have to every day around 15 minutes. You have to look at the MLS. You have to look at the MLS. This is a regular one, okay? But the question I'm coming back, the new agent asking what they can do. Okay, you have to follow your daily schedule. You have to follow your daily schedule to bring yourself in the as a brand new agent. Bring yourself in the real estate industry. Your time, you give the time, no excuse. If you said I want to do 50 minutes exercise and I have to do a motivational video 10 minutes, and the evening I want to do 50 minutes time MLS, you have to discipline yourself. You have to alarm it yourself. You cannot say today I don't do it, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up early and do 30 minutes. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't going to give you the success. Every day schedule. You have to follow certain things. In that case, you can do it. Okay, as a brand new agent, what do you have to do? You have to make an appointment. You have the business card already. Make an appointment for 3 or 4 houses a day, and take your friend or family member as a buyer, and take them out and show the houses. Different areas you can go. Different structure of the houses you can see. In Toronto, the development based on 401, south of 401 and north of 401. North of 401, every line is going there. Finch Avenue, Shepherd Avenue, Finch Avenue, Sears Avenue, now is up to Major Mackenzie and Elgin Millsville. Different structure. And from Junk Street, going east, all the houses, Bayview, Leslie, all the houses, expensive houses. And if you go to Morningside and onwards, bigger houses, newer houses. Newer means 20 years is newer these days. Go every day with your friend, family member, buy the coffee, drink the coffee and enjoy. Go and see the houses. That's the way you can get to know the places. You know how to open the lockbox. You know where to park the car. You know where to keep the card. How to see the houses. Then the clients come and call you, I want to buy a house. Based on the background, based on the financing, where is the rental properties are there, basement rental property, where is the luxury properties are there. You will see it. If you see at least 50 houses as a brand new salesperson, you know where to take your clients' dances. You don't need to ask me that day, the lockbox is not opening, Silvana, which side I turn. I get so many calls like that. I'm with the client right now. Yeah, everything number lock I did. Today is the alpha combination. How can I open the lockbox? You don't need to call. You don't need to make a call like that. Even one agent called me even a few weeks ago. I'm at Corporate Drive. The lockbox in the tree. How can I find out? These are the ones come from experience. You have to go and get involved. As a brand new agent, don't stay home. Your license is valid license. Your license is $1 million worth. The market is there. We don't know the market change. When the market change and when the government regulation change, make use of it today. Okay, don't wait for tomorrow. And the senior agent who said doesn't have much deals this year, that particular person's what's supposed to do? Change the marketing style. Prospecting. Write it down. How many prospecting methods you can do? Again, friends and families, relatives, call for the party and give them a nice introduction about the real estate industries, market changes, which area is booming, which areas market going to boom, which areas are highway, they're putting the new highways, where you can buy, what kind of property you can buy. You can have a group of people to have, summer still not ending. You can have a nice barbecue at your house and call the friends and families and ask them referrals. Pay some referrals, doesn't matter. You can make money. Okay. And find out the different ways. Senior agent, as I said, 5-6 years of experience in the agent, doesn't have much deals. Write it down. How many pillars are there? Meeting the known peoples and unknown peoples. Going there and putting the flyers once in a while not going to help. Putting the flyers called farming. We had to do it in the schedule. We had to do it ongoing basis for life. Then only you can get the results out there. And real estate industry, getting the prospect called two kind: hunting and farming. Hunting, you knock the door and hunt people to do right away. Farming going to be for the slow start and a steady return. As the agent, 5-6 years old, 5-6 years experienced agent, think where are you missing and go out here, prospecting. Meet more people. How are you going to meet people? That's up to you. If you do your prospecting, you'll get the deals. Okay. Second thing, not only look at for Toronto market. Go out. Market is expanding. People are moving out, and in that case, move out your circle and go out and do it. That's what I would say. And the next one for the assignment deals. Real estate assignment. Real estate transaction. Regular real estate transaction is the tangible asset moving from one person to other person. Again, my word, it's an asset. It's a property. It's an asset. Can be commercial, residential, anything. Moving from one person to other person. That's a regular real estate transaction. This under the REBA 2002 regulations, guidelines, real estate, everything is there. Assignment. What is assignment? Basically, when we say assignment, we always think about the brand new houses from the builder. Assigner is a person, the first buyer, assigner. He want to sell it. Somebody going to buy, the second buyer going to buy, assignee. What they're selling each other? The contract, not a physical property. The law is different. This is called assignment transaction. This is called the transaction assignment. Not only this one. When it's come to commercial assignments, investors buy the land and hold the land for 1 year and go and get the developers to get the contract and sell it to a different person without even buying. That's also kind of assignment. Okay, we talk about the regular assignment for the brand new properties. Many agents get excited if somebody calls, I want to sell the property for assignment. What you have to do, number one, the regular official agreement. You're going to sell the agreement, not the house. Selling the house is different than selling the agreement. Selling the house, the person who owns, he has the full right to sell. Am I right? Understanding that one? If somebody have a house, they want to sell the house. 2 owners, 1 owner, 3 owners. They are the owners. They have the rights to sell it to other person. Assignment, 2 parties involved. Builder and the original buyer. Builder and assigner, the original buyer is involved. That means if the original buyer wanted to sell it and make profit, that's their problem. They can make money. It's a business world. There's nothing wrong. But at the same time, if they want to sell it, that doesn't mean you can do right away because 2 parties involved for the assignment. Who? The builder and the original buyer. Builder and the assigner is involved for that particular transaction. If somebody asks you to list the property, what do you have to do? You have to ask both parties, not one party. One party have an agreement. Based on the agreement might say, you can see the agreement, maybe one-time assignment is available. That doesn't mean you have the permission to list. That doesn't mean the buyer can do whatever he likes without the permission of the other party, because selling the contract based on builder and the buyer. Okay. In that case, if you want to list the property, what do you have to do? You have to list the property. You have to get the written consent from the builder, because they're party of the agreement, to give the permission to you to list the property. That's a number one. If you don't, many agents come and say, builders, we call the builder. Builder said, yes, you can do it. That's not enough. That's not enough for us to run the office. If the cases come, we have to go to the courts, because listing is responsible for the office. One of the sale, maybe the agent might be in this group today. They listed the property. Here is in 14 then Markham. They listed the property without getting the consent from the builder. The property price bought it for 400,000, went up to 750, 800,000. Property price went double for the townhouses. After they listed, what happened? Builder canceled the transaction completely. They said, without my permission, you try to sell the contract. I'm the party of the transaction. There is no deal. Can you call Rishani and say I'm in the meeting? Okay. They said there is no deal because they violate the law. They listed the property in the market. The builder canceled it. Then who lost the money? They lost the trust, the person. Finally, they went to the downtown lawyers and get the deposit back. Deposit only back. Not the increased value, 300,000 or 400,000, they lost. Okay. Guys, I'm seeing every day. But I'm trying to tell you, if you want to list the property for assignment, number one, you have to get the permission from the builder. Many agents, what I do, they are not coming to the training. Like today, you guys are here today listening, at least you know. They think they are the best. When they come, they said, office is strict. And I always say, I get the letter from the seller, the original buyer, assigner. Anything come legal issues, he is responsible for this particular listing. After that, I put, in that case, I cover legally myself. That's not the right one. They have to get the permission from the builder. Okay. Whenever you're dealing with the buyer, that means you are working with the assignee, the second buyer. You wanted to buy it. What you had to do, you had to make an offer. For example, I'm picking a easy number without calculation to tell you. Okay, 500,000 townhouse. The original buyer already paid $50,000 as a deposit. Now they're going to assign to somebody else or sell it to somebody else for 600,000. Very easy math. Original price 500,000. Don't worry with HST now. Original price 500,000. Already gave the deposit 50,000. Now they're going to assign to 600,000 to another new buyer. That's been assignee going to buy it for 600,000. Here, what are the things you have to look at it? When you see your assignment of agreement, the Schedule B is there. They clearly mark how much is the new price, 600,000. Deposit, increased value. We already know the assignee, the second buyer, going to pay $150,000. Why $150? $50,000 for the deposit and $100,000 for the increased value. To the lawyer, and their lawyer, they can give the deposit to the office, maybe if you want one deposit, but the money, full settlement has to go to the lawyer. Then assignee, the second buyer, has to pay all the money to the lawyer. Lawyer want to keep the money under the trust account as a holding money under the trust account. Then lawyer give the permission to the assigner, the first buyer, take this assignee and go there, go to the builder and transfer the name. This is the legal process, guys. I repeat again. When you make a transaction, you can either deposit to the real estate office, that's fine. Say this transaction, 500,000, 50,000 deposit, selling to 600,000. That's been 100,000 increased value, 50,000 deposit. The assignee second buyer must pay the 150,000 to their own lawyer. Maybe $50,000 come to as a deposit, another $100,000. Once they complete all the payment with their own lawyer, okay, the assignee's lawyer inform the assigner's lawyer, I have the money, I undertake the money. Once you transfer the deal from your name to the new buyer's name, assigner name to assignee's name, then we can finish the transaction. It's very easy to understand. If you are dealing it, please read it first. I went through one of the issue this week. I start waking up in the morning at 6 o'clock and wrote the letter. What happened? The assignee gave the money only 50,000. The property value went up 200,000 or more. The assigner asking The deposit, give me back. Give the deposit to me. How can we give the deposit to the assigner? Because deal is not completed. The lawyer saying deal is completed. What happened? The assigner take the assignee and change the name already. I told them, you change the name, that's your own risk. You did the mistake, because now the assignee not going to go to different lawyer. Without paying the money, they can get the deal. That's the situation. But only deposit there. The assigner asking, give me the deposit. I said, we can't give the deposit. When anything comes to happen to you, who I am answering? The deal is not completed. The assignee doesn't pay full money. The assignee going to pay partially another deposit in the future. Then there is an argument between the clients and the office and me. Finally, I spent many hours to write the email and corrected the email and sent it to them. Yesterday, I came early morning. I look at the file and the conference call and explained to the assigner. They understood. Then whose mistake is here right now? Agent, before you want to make money, please learn. Please learn. I remember during the April, May, can arrange the training from Goa, Benin. I didn't able to listen all the training. Then I was listening. He said, before you get thirsty, dig the well. If you don't, when you get thirsty, if you don't start to dig the well, you're never going to survive. But I can tell you, if you are a real estate agent, guys, please learn. Please learn. Don't spend time. If you make 5 deals, don't spend the time in the beach or park or fitness club. Learn every single day. Then only your values goes up. If you don't know anything, bring it out and ask. Before you make a transaction, don't call me alone and ask me, can you briefly explain? One of the agent called me one day. Can you briefly explain me about the assignment? I said, no. I don't have that luxury of time. Come to the Zoom next class. That's what I said to him. I don't want to say mean to any words, but if one person called me, asked me briefly, explain to me, 600 people asked me, where are I going to end up with? We had to learn ourselves. And before somebody called you and asked you the deal, please, you learn. That's the only one I could say. Either zoning changes, assignments, by the commercial you need to make it as a party hall. Anything you want to do. Anything you want to, if you think you have potential clients to come to that level, just do it. Learn it first. Bring the question to the Zoom. I don't get much question from the Zoom meetings because everybody only owning the phone or laptop in the Saturdays morning and leaving. If you learn yourself. That's the way you make money. If somebody call you, you have the answer. If I don't know, just I get information from other different people. Why not? I could do it. Think about yourself. Bring your knowledge up, guys. That's what I would say. And again, assignment, another part of assignment deal. There are two kinds of assignment is there. One assignment is the one I basically said that one now. Assignee, the second buyer, paying the full amount to the lawyer and changing the transaction to assigner, taking the assignee to switching the name, the builder side, and so the new assignment of agreement going to be under the second buyer's name, assignee's name. That's a clear-cut assignment. But not everybody have the chunk of money. Even the example I pick 500,000 and 50,000 deposit and increase value 100,000, 150,000 you had to pay upfront. Maybe everybody doesn't have that kind of money. In that case, if you can see assignment of agreement, there is no closing date. There's no date for the closing. It's open. The reason some assignments, what the people does, but they still have to have 3 lawyers and pay the deposit to the lawyer and say the closing date is going to be original closing date as the assigner's closing date. That's been the closing date is going to be 2022 April. That's been you are buying now and locking in right now, the fixing the price, and definitely assigner not going to change the name to you by assignee now because of he didn't get the money. But the promise they're giving through the lawyers, just the closing of the transaction, they're going to transfer it. That's happened. For example, the assignee, the second buyer, they're buying it. The closing is going to be the day of closing. He has to get the mortgage. Most of the time, as for my knowledge, mortgages for the assignment deals, the mortgages go by the original builder's price. Some lenders give for the market value. If you can able to get a market value, you can go with 10% or 20% down payment, whatever you do, and close the transaction the same day as the builder's closing. That means you don't have the second buyer assignee. You're not going to have assignment of agreement from the builder. But the day of the closing, all 3 lawyers, builder's lawyer, assigner lawyer, and assignee's lawyer, builder's lawyer, original buyer's lawyer, assigner's lawyer, and the assignee's lawyer. All three work together and close the transaction with the not enough. They don't need to pay the big money upfront. That's possible if the transaction is closing earlier. But there are some negative effects for the tax part. I'll come back that one. And this is one kind of assignment, another kind of assignment. But we don't call this as a real assignment. We are making the assignment of agreement papers, as well as according to the CRA regulation, that's coming as a deed transfer. That's mean the buyer, even though he buy the new property, new product, buyer buying the new product from the builder, not considering as a HSC rebate application. HSC rebate is automatically dismissed for that particular person because there is no builder's agreement, no builder's assignment of agreement. If the person won't, instead of buying the builder, they think this is cheaper and they're going to buy it, they have to sacrifice in a different ways. Okay, but if the first one I said, assignee pay for the full money to the lawyer and take it to go to the builder and transferring the agreement, that's a clean transaction. If they don't have that much money, you are a real estate agent, you want to make commission, you want to make a transaction with the lowest money as possible. In that case, it's not a bad idea to do the closing date, set to the closing date, original closing date with the builder and the assigner, same as assignee. That day you can close a transaction. Okay, that's going to be deed transfer. Only difference between those two. According to the real estate part, there's no difference. According to the HSC rebate part, yes, that's kind of deed transfer. They're not going to get it. They can't get the rebate portion of the HSC in that side. And assigner side, if we are working the assigner side, if you are the person listing the property side, yes, there are tax implications. Let them handle with their own accountant. Today's class is a real estate agent class. I don't want to go too deep on that side. I saw one of the agent put it on the website a few months ago, very, very clear answers, the home life group. And I mentioned many times for the tax implication on the assignment of agreements, HST implication and everything. You can learn that one to the clients. Okay. Now, if anybody have any question for the assignment side, I can talk. Otherwise, I can move it to the PREC corporation and comparing the personal taxes with the PREC corporation. That's the next call I get, and I have other question to discuss too. Anybody have any question for the assignment side? Please come out and ask if you don't understand.
I have a quick question in regards to assignment, but it's related to taxes. Is that acceptable?
Perfect. Good sir.
So let's say if somebody sells assignment in assignment clause, how the tax implications? So is that like a capital gain taxes, or it's like a normal income taxes in that sense, since the property is not bought and kept for a little longer?
It's an amazing question. For example, capital gain means you are investing the money. You are investing the money that stay there over the period of time. That's growing, and whatever profit comes, you're going to pay 50%. Every one of you know. Okay, the assignment of deal, CRA treating. If you have the nature of the assignment, for example, you buy the property and the nature you get the transfer, or under the nature you can able to close the transaction, and the job transfer, sickness of the family, or many things can happen. In that case, when you do the assignment, so the first transaction, the nature of your business, CRA's point of view, the very first deal, if you do it, they don't come back and bother you if you are paying. If they can consider you as a capital gain side. That's been the profit, whatever comes for the first deal, without asking any questions, CRA accept as it is for the assignment. But if you are doing this one continuously again and again for the different one, that's become as an inventory. They are calling the word in tax law. They are calling as an inventory. That's been inventory means you are a grocery salesperson. You are buying the bag of rice and you keeping it and selling it to somebody else. That one is called as an inventory. Same thing. Either you doing the assignment or you flipping the property. Flipping the property, we all know there are so many changes coming in. Who are taking the power for the next election. And again here now, answer your question. The first assignment definitely they will give you as a capital gain. And if the nature is going to do again and again different assignments, in that case, might come back and tell you this is not a capital gain. This is a business transaction. If it is a business transaction, you have to pay for the business income tax. That means the value increases. It's not going to consider as a capital gain. It's a business income. That's the way revenue Canada considering. And whatever we talk about the tax part. In that case, for example, again for the say 500,000 condo house, you put the deposit 50,000, and you're selling it for 600,000. I'm picking the same example. When you have the money coming in, $50,000 deposit you're going to get back, plus $100,000 is the profit. That $50,000 deposit, whatever you pay and you're getting back, you are become like a builder. Even though you own money, $50,000, you are getting back, you have to pay the HST to the government based on law. If anybody wants, send me the email. I can send the article to you guys to read read further. Okay. Again, Gulshan is a very good question. The first assignment, 100% they will give you as a capital gain. And the nature, maybe if you do as for experience, if you do it in 3-4 years after another one, they don't bother. If it is more than one or two, every year you're doing one, for example, that's going to be under that. They have a right to change that under the capital gain to business gain.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Thanks.
Here, the one question coming from Manoharan: land transfer tax payable for the original price or assigned price? It's a good question, Mano. But what happening is right now, assignment of agreement, only a contract. Again, I'm picking the same example: 500,000, the builder's price. Assigner bought it for 500,000. The assigner transferred to assignee for 600,000. That's a contractual price. But even though they pay 600,000, the 100,000 assigner going to take as a profit, and he's going to pay the taxes for his own. But the builder's transaction still 500,000. And when you go there and closing the transaction amount, the value of the property amount is going to be 500,000. That's the reason I said you had to have a chunk of money to put it in. Most of the cases, assignment side, the banks are looking for the builder's price, and the mortgages are looking for builder's price too. In this case, the transferring amount is going to be 500,000. Then land transfer tax based on builder's price, based on assigner price, whatever the price he bought it from the builder, the land transfer tax is going to be there. This is a very good question, Mano. It's good for everybody to know. Even the new price, only paying the profit to get the contract, paying extra money to get the contract legally. Legally, you are paying extra money, not under the table. You are paying the contract legally, $100,000 to get that over. But still, the contractual amount is 500,000. Okay, the land transfer tax is going to be 500,000. It's a good question. Both those two are very good question. If anybody have a question, please come out and ask about either your database creations and getting the clients for the prospecting side, or else assignment of agreement. Please come out and ask before I go to PREC. Do you have any question in your messages, Kana? I have one question. I get one question from my cell phone. For the assignment of agreement, Salvana, you said it's a deed transfer and assignment of agreement. Why we don't get the HST even though we are a new builder? Sorry, if I am the buyer, if I am buying the property from the builder, why I can't get the HST if it's a deed transfer? For example, rebate for HST rebate is a government giving back whatever the money government collectors, they want to give back a portion. That's a civilized world. Everyday transaction, guys. We are spending the money when we go and buy everything stuff in the store. We are paying the HST, GST, and PST. Lower income people's HST is based on 30,000 and PST based on 26,000. We are giving back small amount. as a rebate, HST rebate, HST regular personal tax you file. Why they want to pay you $130 every quarter if your income is lower? Whatever the HST you pay, they are going back to you as a small rebate. And the PST, they are paying as a trillion benefit $26 per head. And the property taxes you pay, they are giving a small portion of the property taxes as a property tax rebate. That's coming as a trillion benefit from the Ontario government. If you are a senior, they're giving a bigger portion. Whatever the tax you pay, they want to give you back a small rebate if your income is lower. Same thing, HSC rebate, whatever the government started with 2010 July, all the new properties came under the HSC regulation. That means the property value before only PST, no HST, before only the PST was 8% interest rate, that was there. When they became as July 10th, 2002, and HSC rebate, HST for 13% HST, everybody has to pay. 500,000 builders value, 65,000 HST, we had to pay to the both government. That's the way the government collect the money. Okay. Why they want to pay a rebate? Yes, they are ready to pay the rebate, a smaller portion of the rebate, not a big portion of the rebate. For example, now houses are worth $4 million. If somebody buy the house for $1 million, PST, $80,000, they're charging it. $2 million, 2 million worth of houses they are building it, 3 million worth of the houses building it, 8%, 2 million worth of 2 million worth of houses, $160,000 they are collecting for the PST money. But the maximum ceiling for the PST, 24,000. You get back from the government. Same thing, same thing, HST. Same thing, HST, the 5% HST, there's a rebate portion is there. That rebate portion, federal government limited, the federal government, okay? Federal government is looking after the whole provinces. In that case, they don't want to worry, they don't care about Toronto price up or Vancouver price up. They are keeping the cap for the HST, less than $350,000 GST, you get back rebate. 350,000 to 400,000, decreasing value. And after 450, there's no GST rebate. GST rebate and HST rebate coming, GST rebate and PST rebate come as a HST rebate. The question is here right now. If the assignment deal, if the assignment transaction, the closing date is the same date as the original assigner's closing date, builder's closing date as assignee closing date, why there is no HST rebate? That's a question is here. The reason, Excise Act, Revenue Canada having Income Tax and Excise Act. Excise Act is the one guidelines for the HST rebate. Under the Excise Act, saying that there are few things are important under the list. There are few things are under the list. Number one, you are the primary owner. You have to go to the builder and you have to get the builder's purchase sale agreement or assignment of agreement. The beginning, they don't have that one. They amend that assignment agreement later on. The beginning, you have to have the original agreement from the builder. That's one of the part. Because everything coming out of the business, that's been, they want to give the HST rebate for the regular Canadians to buy. And in this case, the day closing date, assigner closing date and assignee closing date, the same date, lawyers are closing the transaction. Yes, the land registry going to show you buying the property from the builder direct, but you don't have the builder's purchase agreement or assignment of agreement. In order to fulfill that one, you had to have that one. Same thing, the rental portion. If you are renting the property, just you can get the rental rebate, but you had to have the minimum of 12 months rental agreement. If you are doing the Airbnb or you are doing the weekly rental, no, you are not eligible. If you are doing the yearly rental, that's been housing problem, you are solving it. You are not a business person. You are buying for the investment, but at the same time, government is getting the help from you for the housing side. There are regulation, everything under the act. You have to follow the act. Answer your question. Why not there under the Excise Act? They listed who can eligible for the HST rebate. Under category, you have to have the builder's agreement. Okay. All right. If you don't have any other question, I'm going to move to the difference between PRSC corporation. I think I have another question coming in. Okay, this is not a question. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to compare your personal tax return as well as the PREC tax return. And this call, last 2-3 weeks, I'm getting this call. Okay, we will do what are the difference between PREC and PREC corporate tax return as well as a personal tax return. Okay, personal tax return, Government of Canada, federal government, as well as the provincial government, each provinces are different. Each province is having their different provincial margin, different provincial breakdowns, different provincial benefits. For example, Alberta provincial taxes is very low or zero. Alberta personal Alberta taxes because of their own provinces, and under the Income Tax Act. Anyway, we are filing the tax return for the personal tax return. There are 2 tax returns involved, one federal and one the provincial. Under the federal side and the provincial side, the tax year end is the January 1st to December 31st. That doesn't change. Every single one of you, as a Canadian permanent resident, we have to file the tax, whether you have an income or you don't have an income. That income tax return, the basic name for the income tax return, income tax and benefit returns. They don't say any income tax, benefit returns. That if you don't file the tax, you don't get the benefits. Okay, your tax year end, January to December. What kind of income you are getting it? Any kind of you are making it. You make five different places and you are renting out the property. All this time, real estate agent was getting the commission under the name, and you have a landscaping business, Amazon delivery business, anything you do. You have a payroll, you have a T4, self-employed, anything you do, everything going as a one pool from January to December 31st. Anything come after December 31st doesn't count. Go to move to the next year. Your tax year end is December 31st, your tax year end. And you have to file the taxes April 30th. Or sometime 1 or 2 days, if it is holidays or CRA breakdown, 1 or 2 days. That's the way the law is there. All the income going as a pool for that particular year. And the personal tax bracket, we call as a progressive tax. Progressive tax means lower income person pay less tax, higher income person paying the higher income bracket tax. Now is I think 250 is the highest income bracket, 220, 250. Yeah. After 250, everybody paying the higher bracket. Until 250, first $14,000, I can go 30 to plus 14. It's a provincial and federal slightly different. Zero taxes, personal taxes, zero to $14,000. Same, keep both the same, maybe for your basic calculation, provincial and federal. You don't have to pay the taxes. That's the reason when you go and work part-time job for $8,000, they don't take the tax out because they assume first $14,000, there's no taxes. Okay. From there, every tax bracket moving from 43,000, 60,000, 110,000 and provincial differently and federal differently is progressive tax. If you make more money, whatever money you make more, that portion you pay extra taxes. And your year end is December 31st. This is the personal tax. All the income, any kind of income, investment income, real estate income, Canada foreign pension income, or also withdrawal, can be anything, everything going as a one pool. When it's come to the corporation, this is the part, it's the interesting part we're starting up. We are PRC corporation also, corporate tax. When you come to the corporation, very first year, you can elect yourself when you're going to set up the corporation year end. Most of them, I believe October we started the PRC corporation law came out. October and November many agents started. The year end, what's the year end you're going to elect? First year you have the option. That's called minute, corporate minute, and you don't have to write the minute, pay the money and minute, do the minute. Yes, you can set it up. Very first year tax filing. I advise many agents who ask me the advice. I said, put it as a June 30th or September 30th. In that case, you have enough time to do it. Easy to do. Keep separate for the personal and the corporation as separate one. Okay, some people, many of them, as far I know, at least I can say around 50 agents or 40 agents. I told them to do it on June 30th. Then some people put it September. Doesn't matter. You can set up any date. You don't even have to do it the month end. You can even put it April 14th is my year end. You can do that one. That depends on how do you going to manage your accounts. Okay. Year end, very first year, but the limitation for the Revenue Canada, 365 a day, 365 days a year. In that case, they are giving another grace period for the 7 days. 7 days. You can even go up to more than 7 days. That means the maximum of 372 days or 71 days to set up the year end. But after you set up the year end, that's going to be permanent for you, for your corporation. If you open up the corporation last year, October, November, or else this January, February, whenever you want to do it whenever you like to do. That's up to you. But once you set it up, you cannot change it afterwards. It's not easy to change afterwards, as for my knowledge. The year end is due. Second thing, when you set up the year end, I told people who asked me the advice, get the HST year end, same as corporate year end. Again, personal year end, most of them is December, and that's also come differently for some agents, some people, they ask for a different way to set up the HST year end. But basically saying HST year end also January to December for the personal side. Corporation, if you are setting up your corporation, be smart. Don't do the accounts twice. If you are setting up the corporation June 30th, I told many of them who reached the corporation or who asked the advice, go for the same day as your corporate tax year and HST year end. That's mean you can skip the audit. For example, when you come here, when it's come to the audit purpose, CRA look at it. They look at the income. What are the income you reporting under the corporate tax, and what are the income you reporting under the HST? If you are reporting $142,000 for the corporate, if you are reporting $142,000 for the HST, you can minimize the audit. But if it is the same, if anything is different, this might trigger the audit purpose. But if it is a different year end, it's not going to trigger. But at the same time, it's good to go. Easy calculation, accounting cost is lower. Corporate year end and HST year end is the same. I told many of the agents go for June 30th who were registered last year, and HST year end also call CRA and get the HST year end for the same date as corporate year end. In that case, you can file it the same day. And the tax bracket, personal tax. If you make more money, you end up paying more taxes. And Canada pension you're going to pay as a realtor through your personal tax. But corporation, there is no discount for $0 to $13,000 like a personal, but at the same time, doesn't change. For example, there's a changes for the bigger corporation side. As we talk about the personal corporation, the profit corporations, whatever the PR is under the profit corporation, they say up to 500,000. I look at the exact amount today before we start the meeting, but say up to 1 million. There is no changes. If we have only one corporation, you may end up paying around 12.5%. If you have another two corporations, say easy calculation for 15.5%, you're going to pay the taxes. That's it, and you can keep it under the corporate. The year end, yes, you can set up the year end very first year. But my advice, year end, you go with the HST and the corporate year end as the same year end, same period end. In that case, easy calculation, just one-time fees. You can do it with the corporate taxes. Corporate taxes are expensive because lots of work for the accountants to do the corporate tax, not like a personal tax. Even the program is expensive too. And who are you doing it? To talk to them and set it up that way. Again, expenses side, there's no difference. Expenses side, there's no difference for the expenses side. For example, even personal tax. When you go to the personal taxes, you can go and write down the expenses based on alphabet order. Based on alphabet order, your expenses is going to be there. Start from the numbers 8521. We always call 8,500 series. The numbers go there from up to 9,500. Each and every one start from the advertising, the business tax, deliveries, fuel, insurance, maintenance. There are so many things you can write down. Even the corporation also, you have exactly the same expenses you can claim. There is no difference between the expenses side, either corporation or personal. Some people call me and ask me, can you give me what I can claim for the corporation? Anything you can claim, whatever you claim all this time, guys. Just one simple, straightforward answer. What you did all this time, what are the expenses you claim? What are the expenses you claim all this time, your personal taxes? The same thing you can claim for the PRC corporation. There's no difference. Even, but the only thing you have to do, very first year, Revenue Canada is lenient, but at the same time, you go for everything. You keep a bank account. and give a checks from that particular PREC bank account for the advertisement. For example, you have a billboard. You have a billboard and you are paying $1,500 a month. Don't write to your personal account. Give it to your PREC corporation. And you have a gas card for the car. And get the gas card from the ISO or Petro Canada. Get the gas card from your PREC corporation name, or else get a credit card and pump everything from that bill. In that case, in case you get in the audit one day, you have all the transaction going from there, and you are keeping a salary staff. You have a right to keep the salary staff, or else you have the right to keep the contractors to deliver the flyers. Based on the category, get the payroll number then. Get the payroll number under the PREC corporation and keep the salary staff. The salary staff can do the marketing, phone call and marketing, everything. You pay the money, you pay the payroll every month payroll, and you can claim as a payroll expenses. Okay. If somebody coming and doing for the flyers distribution, you are paying them $1,000 a month, or your father-in-law doing it for the money for you, and you are paying for $1,000 your father-in-law every monthly to deliver the flyers. Then give the check, and you have the proof over there. In that case, you can claim under the corporation. If you have a salary, yes. If you have an office, beside your house, I never encourage for the home office to anybody, either PREC corporation or personal tax. Home office is one of the category. Always CRA come to you. You inviting CRA to come to your house and look at your house and look at the home office. If you have a office outside the real estate office, if you are paying the money for $2,000, you are keeping $1,500. You have an office. You have a separate office other than your house. And you are paying it. Just pay it through your PREC corporation and from the check, and you can claim everything in the corporation. But somebody called me and asked me about the vehicle. I already have a vehicle under my personal name. Now, under the PREC corporation I started, how can I claim the expenses if I don't have a vehicle under the PREC corporation? It's not a problem. CRA is very fair department, guys. CRA is very fair department. They will understand you are a real estate agent, you need a vehicle. But what you had to do, you already bought the vehicle and you are paying $1,500 or $2,000 for the vehicle monthly payment. There's a limitation for either corporation or personnel to claim the vehicle expenses based on the class of the vehicle. But at the same time, if your payment, you can start from the PREC corporation, even though you bought a vehicle under the personal name. Now you switch the payment method, monthly lease payment or monthly lease payment or monthly car payment. Switch it to from your PREC corporation. The pre-authorized payment, give them from the PREC corporation. In that case, you can do it. Gas card again under the PREC corporation. Even paying the RECO, TRAP, marketing, training, and everything. Better to go with one account. In that case, we have to keep track on it. But again, what are the other question I always get when I'm doing the personnel, they don't care how much money I'm taking out from my account, whether I'm keeping the money in the account or I'm taking out the money from the account. Now under the PREC corporation, how can I show whether I need a payroll or can I withdraw the money as a dividends, and how do I do it? That's a question many agents ask me many times. That's a very good question, actually. What I can suggest you, the reason we started the PREC corporation to minimize the tax. In this case, after you start the PREC corporation to minimize the tax, if you start the payroll and paying yourself, it's no point. You're doing more work because the money going again personal, you are paying as under the personal tax bracket, and you're getting the payroll. And in that case, you started the PREC corporation and create the PREC corporation $650, and doing the taxes is expensive now. PREC corporation taxes, the corporate tax, and still you're going to pay the payroll. It's no point. Instead of that one, you can simply keep the money under your personal name and finish it up everything on one shot. PREC corporation is a good way to do. Take as a dividends up to $30,000. I'm telling the rough calculation. Up to $30,000 if you don't have any other income. If you are doing a full-time job, making $70,000, $80,000, and you are getting the dividends, you may end up paying the taxes. If you don't have a dividend, if you don't have any, the first $30,000, $35,000, dividend tax credit is there. In that case, you don't need to pay for the taxes under the PREC corporation. If you get the money, as a dividend, my advice to you, if you are a full-time or part-time, or if you have a full-time income coming and you have a PRSC corporation, save the money under the PRSC corporation. Save the money under the PRSC corporation. When you are doing the personal tax, what are you doing? Sometimes people buy the RRSP. Buying the RRSP and bringing the tax bracket. Now you don't need to do RRSP. You can leave the money under the RRSP money. Let the government keep it. You buying the RRSP $30,000 and reduce the tax, and who keep the money? Government keep the money. Now you keep the money under your PRSC corporation. If you don't need it, don't withdraw it. If you don't withdraw it, you don't need to pay the extra tax. Only 15.5% tax is enough. You can keep under the. You can save the money under the PRSC corporation. But whenever you withdraw it, PRSC corporation, you can have a different class peoples for the dividends category. I don't want to go too deep on that side. You can withdraw the money as a dividends. That's better category. After you withdraw the money as a dividends in your high, husband and wife, up to 90% of the dividends you can transfer to your spouse. For example, you are the one doing it. You are the one getting say $50,000 as a dividends. After gross up, maybe around $58,000 come as an income, but your wife is not in the part of the PRSC corporation. PRSC corporation restricted to the only sales peoples. But at the same time, what you're going to do? You can do it. The dividends, whatever you receive, you can transfer it to your spouse up to 90%. In this way, in this case, your wife pay. You don't need to pay a very high tax bracket. You can skip the income to your spouse, even though you receive yourself. That option is there because husband and wife or common law partners. We can do that one. And one of the agent asked me the question recently. I had the money in the PRSC corporation. Can I buy a house? Yes, you can buy a house. PRSC corporation restricted only one director. That's the salesperson is a director. Income restricted by only real estate income you can get. No other income can come to PRSC corporation. You can collect only real estate income. Any other income, you cannot get it except the investment income. For example, PRSC corporation, you have $100,000 sitting there. You give out the mortgages by yourself, or else you investing the MIC corporation and getting the money as a dividend income. Yes, that's you can show as a different category. The PRSC corporation money sitting there, you can buy the house, but there's no other earned income can come to the PRSC corporation. Investment income, yes, you can do it. If you buy the house and rent it out under the PRSC corporation, yes, you are eligible for that one. You can do.
Selva, I have a question.
Sure, Rashna.
So you said that as a corporation, we can buy a house. But since the corporation just opened last year, the mortgage would be difficult because they generally say, see 2 years of NOS. So can we do like half and half? Like suppose I need to buy a house, half with the like on two title, one corporation and one personal?
The same person, corporation and personal, I don't think it's going to be possible. This is a good question, Rashna. I cannot answer all the question. I'm not sure to say. I need to double check. But you have your own corporation and you have your own personal name. Can you text it and see whether this question answer we can give before the end of the session?
Yeah, because the corporation would be new, right? Until it's at least 1 or 2 NOAs, there'll be no mortgage.
No. That's two different part of your question. Getting the mortgage under the new corporation is one part.
Getting answered like, can I buy with 2 titles? Like me, suppose it's my corporation, like my name and the corporation name.
I think the answer is no, as from my head, but he's sending the message to some lawyers to find out those one. It's a good thinking. It's very good. I like these kind of questions. We can expand our knowledge. But the PRSC corporation is only sole owner. You are the sole owner for the corporation. You are the corporate owner. Plus, you want to put your personal name as a half. I don't think it's possible. But still we will give the answer. But getting the mortgage, just is possible. Getting the mortgage is a corporation, is a new corporation. Some people buying the property under their name and switching to the corporation the day of the closing. If the corporation, as for my knowledge, they will ask you the financial statement. If the corporation is more than 12 months, if the corporation is less than 12 months, there is no way they can ask the financial. They will ask the forecast. What are you going to do for this particular house? You are buying under the house under the corporate name. I'm telling you only for my knowledge. If you are buying the corporation under the corporate name, that's not a residential property. That's not a permanent residence property. There's no permanent resident tax rebate on that property, okay? But you are buying for the investment purpose. When you are buying the investment purpose, if you have the business generating the money, they will ask you not the notice of assessment, that's called notice to reader. The CRA accountant sign it and give you how much money you have. That's a corporation is more than 1 year. If you have any new corporations, as from my knowledge, they will ask you the forecast. Forecast, am I right, Kana? What you're saying for the mortgage sector? Yeah, I'm double checking with him. If it is a new corporation, they will ask you the forecast, how much money you are buying it, how much your rental is going to be, future rent is going to be, how much is the future mortgage is going to be, and based on your forecast, you are going to get $3,500 up and down, basement and upstairs the rent. And your mortgages and everything going to be 2,500. You are expecting the profit even $10,000, $1,000 of profit. That's the forecast you're going to give them. It's not easy as the personal name, but at the same time, easy as personal name, but at the same time, you don't need to give less than 1 year corporation for the notice to reader, not notice of assessment. And plus if you are buying for the 50-50, even though the title issue, I will let you know. If you are buying 50-50, rather than this category, if you have mortgage purpose, if you have two people involved for the mortgage, assume the corporation is different than you, but they go for the weaker one. That means they still have the rights to ask. They still have the rights to ask the corporation side. Corporate side, for example, two people buying it, one person credit is bad, other person credit is good. They don't care. They will reject the mortgage based on the weaker person. The profile is the one they look at it. This situation. Okay. The title. If I can give you the answer before the end of the session, I can give the title: 50% corporation and 50% personal name. I don't think it's possible. And but I know if you transfer from your personal name to corporation or corporate to personal name completely, if there's no mortgages or if there's a mortgage, you have to approve the mortgage and transfer, but you still have to pay for the land transfer tax. You still have to pay for the land transfer tax from your personal asset. Moving the corporation, you are the sole owner of the corporation, or you are the sole owner of the corporation, moving from the corporation to your personal name. Still 100% land transfer tax you have to pay. They treat as separate entity. Let me check it out. Did you get that? Yeah.
Personal name and corporation.
Same owner.
It's as same owner on the title. But as far as I know, if you're doing the bank can ask that individual to be guarantor.
No, I know.
But the guarantor won't be on title. But the bank can ask them to be a guarantor.
You want to tell them, Kana, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
The Kana is coming to help you for this the title side. We will further dig on the title side. But this guy, as from my mind, is impossible side. Okay, can I talk to one of the lawyer?
Perfect. So one of the lawyers, give me 1 second.
Kana is coming to help you whatever he talked to the lawyer, and he's coming to help you what are the result, what are the answer he got from the lawyer.
Perfect. Just wanted to put someone on mute there. Okay, so one of the lawyers that we just spoke to right now, we asked them specifically if there can be two individuals on the title. So the owner of the corporation and also the corporation itself
50-50 share.
As the 50-50 share on title. As far as that lawyer is concerned, she's never seen anyone act in that transaction like that. So in her experience, she hasn't seen any transactions like that. From the mortgage side, what I do know, someone already discussed about trying to get qualified for a mortgage with a corporation that's less than a year old. Majority of the banks, some of the banks, what they ask for is 6 months bank statements. If you can show 6 months bank statements to verify the future income of that company based on what the previous 6 months have done, is more than enough to get a mortgage under a corporation. If it's lasted less than 1 year. Majority of the A-side banks, they do ask for 2 years in notice assessment, tax documents, notice of reader, T2 documents, and etc. So there's alternatives. But the other thing is, as a corporation, if you're doing a mortgage under a corporation, depending on the bank, they can ask the owner of the corporation to be a guarantor, not a co-signer, not to be on title, but as a guarantor. So that's one important aspect to know as well.
Thanks, Kana. For me, my answer from my head is not 100%, but it's impossible to go one same person as a corporate owner as well as a personal owner 50-50 partnership. Okay, if I find out, I'll give the answer. And there's a question is here: can we employ spouse family member with monthly payroll under this corporation? Not as a director. Not as a director is the right answer. Not that the only one director is you as a real estate salesperson. Just can you leave the question though? Okay, then yes, you can employ your spouse, family members, anybody as a employee, and you had to give the payroll, and the way Revenue Canada check. They have the right to check from the email address over the activities and how many income splitting level you are putting your kids. If the Revenue Canada has the rights to verify cross examination, I went through one of the audit. That particular family member work many hours under the cross examination. The family member said, I work longer hours. I'm the one running the company, and then they said they gave the violation to the owner. You are asking your family member to work more, something like that. But they have a right to ask. But answer your question, yes, you can have the payroll. You can put the payroll under their family members. Yes, they can get the payroll officially from you. Can you move it up? There are a few other questions. Okay. All right, we are going to go through. If a car on the spouse name, but we use it for the real estate work, can we claim it in regards to CRA? Yes, the car under the wife name. CRA, I went to some audits. The CRA knows you need a car. Your credit is bad. You bought it under the wife's name. Some purpose you bought under the wife's name. Yes, they allow you to claim as long as you pay the car loan from your bank account, not your wife. And the gas, the same thing, gas. You don't have a gas. I expand in this question. You cannot claim the licensing fees, $80 or $120 licensing sticker. You cannot do that one. Insurance, just a car under your insurance, you can do that one. But the capital cost allowance for the car, that's you cannot claim. The car is paid off. That's under your car not under your name. If you are paying the money from your bank account, car under your wife's name, just you can claim. And the same line. One of the audit, the clients doesn't have the gas receipt. The CRA said, yes, we understand $50 a week. The standard, the book value for the real estate agent for the gas receipt, even though you don't have gas receipt, they allow $50. They are very good department. They are very lenient if we are not lying to them. Okay, can you move a little bit?
Hi, Silva. This is Saiful. Can I ask you one question if you don't mind?
Sure, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
My question is, if I'm doing that, like not the corporation, I'm doing the incorporation.
What do you mean? Not a corporation.
Like, that we are doing some contract job. Yeah. In that time, we have
under the Ontario Inc., other than the real estate corporation, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, you say that incorporation, right? Like normally when I do the IT job, we have some incorporate. So can we use the same thing?
100% answer is no. That's the reason Revenue Canada, the Ontario government bring the PRC corporation as a special category corporation to receive the real estate income. If you have already having an existing incorporation and you're doing the IT work or any other field, that's nothing to do with the PRC corporation. PRC corporation, professional real estate corporation. Same thing, doctors having their own professional corporation, lawyers having their own professional corporation. And the same thing, real estate agent, since last October, having a personal real estate corporation. That corporation, you are the only one director, and the income generate the corporation only from the real estate, earn income come from the corporation only from real estate. And if you have any Ontario Inc. or Canada Inc., that's nothing to do with the real estate income. Okay, Damir?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, okay. There's another question. How do you withdraw the money as dividends? How do you withdraw the money as dividends? You write a check and take it out, $3,000 a month, $2,000 a month, or $5,000 a month. What are the money you don't have to be infrequent. Anytime you withdraw the money at the total, those are going to be a dividends. There's no special requirements like a payroll. Okay. Another question: when we pay corporate tax for the year, can we claim next year wherever we paid corporate tax previous years line. Manohar, you have to understand there are questions we ask. There are lots of people in the group, and everybody has to understand. Okay, you are putting the line number. Who is going to understand your line number? Second thing, taxes you pay. The question last time also you asked similar questions. It's good to ask the questions, but we have to understand we are a group of people talking here now. When we pay the corporate tax for the year, can we claim next year whatever we paid corporate tax previous year tax? I think you have to understand, you have to learn more about the corporate tax, Manohar. The same year you do that, but not next year. The corporate tax year, for example, your corporate tax starting in July 1st to June 30th, what are the taxes you pay, that's taxes you are claiming that particular year as a liability side. And the retained earnings, you reduce your retained earnings, not to showing as an expense. Okay, paying the taxes not an expense. Paying the taxes is reducing your retained earnings, reducing your balance sheet. Okay, it's not to you're paying $2,000 to $20,000, not to even the personal tax. You pay $20,000 personal tax next year or that particular year. That's not an expense. Okay. Second thing, the line numbers I don't want to mention right now here for the line numbers because that's not. It is a group of meeting. It's a regular real estate training. Maybe you had to learn yourself, or else send me the text. We can talk about that personally. Okay. All right. Does the personal real estate corporation the limitation for the passive income? Can we have any amount of the investment income or investment income without getting taxes in higher rate? Fantastic questions. Okay, the difference in the Amal Mahendran in the question. Okay, the personal tax, guys. Again, the personal tax. Any kind of income come same pool. Either real estate income. You working as a bank in the T4 income, or you're delivering the Amazon and getting the income, doesn't matter. Everything coming under the one pool, all the net income coming under the same tax bracket. But corporate taxation, earned income is different than the passive income. Earned income means you work and earn income. That's earned income. Passive income means without you are putting your efforts, your investment, creating the money, that's called passive income. That's the question he's asking. For example, the question based on, as I said before, you have extra money sitting in the corporation, you can invest the mortgage and the money coming as an investment, or you can invest in the big corporations. Big corporations pay you interest income, that's a passive income. Or you buy the house, and rent it out, the rental income, net rental income is a passive income. Okay, he's asking here, does the personal real estate corporation limitation for passive income? There's no limitation passive income. You can claim any amount as a passive income. As per my knowledge, can we have any amount of investment income or interest income without getting taxed at a high rate? No, you can't do two things at the same time. If you declare the income, there's a tax rate, it's a higher income tax bracket. Yes, there's a way to reduce a little bit. I'll tell you that one too. The passive income coming up, believe me or not, corporate tax rate is 15.5% for the most of the corporation. But guess what is passive income? You are giving the money for the mortgages, or you are giving out the real estate rental income. 48% tax bracket, almost 50%, 48% tax bracket. He asking the question without getting taxed at a higher rate. You can't get without getting the tax at higher rate, but you can get discount if you receive the dividends. If you have a dividend, then based on the total income, you cannot say the dividends you withdraw from the passive income only, but the dividends going to be the total income from the earned income plus the passive income. But if your dividend tax credit give you some direction for the tax deduction for the passive income. That's the only one I can say at this big group, Mahen. 70 people are listening. They cannot go more detail on the tax purpose, but there's no way to deduct the high bracket unless otherwise, whatever. If you are giving the mortgage out, it's a passive income. No, there's no expenses. If you are getting the interest income from the big corporation, there's nothing. But if you are renting the house, you can gross income and net income. You can have some different ratios. The net income, whatever you're reporting, that's coming under the passive income. You have to pay for the taxes. But reduce the tax. Only way to reduce the tax, dividend tax credit. That's the only way. Okay, the next part. Any question, Anna? No. All right. For the again, we come to the PRC corporate today. I'm really impressed with all the questions are really good questions, really good questions, and that's expanding the knowledge. Rashna, your question is sounds like good, but I don't think it's a practical question. But I don't get the answer until now. If I get the answer next week, remind me the same question, please.
No worries. Thank you.
If I forget, you remind me. Definitely, I'll find out, because sometimes when I teach, I learn every day. That's one of the part I like it. The training and teaching, different questions come, different areas, and we learn. That's it for today. If you don't have any questions, almost I have another 15 minutes. If you have any question, I can discuss. I don't get any other questions. If you have any questions, ask me. Otherwise we can round it up by 11 o'clock today. Feel free and come and ask me. Not only the same topic, whatever it, anything you need, anybody you need, just come and ask me.
I have a question again.
Sure.
Go ahead, Rashna.
No, go ahead.
Mohan, go ahead, Mohan.
Selvan, I have a suggestion. You teaching a lot of tips and all these practical work in real estate, which is really good. Real estate only teaches in the book, nothing going to happen in the practical world. So a lot of agents may have faced a lot of practical issues, and they have resolved it in a different format. If one agent can share their struggle and they resolve the issue, I think it might help new agents to come out if the same issue occurred to them. I don't know if it's going to take more time on the meeting, but at least one problem per week, and someone had that and they resolved it, which maybe increase the knowledge of others. I'm just suggesting this. I don't know if it's...
Mohan, it's a good suggestion. I love it. That come from everybody. They had to come out and say, I faced this problem this week, guys. I'm sharing with you guys, and what I did is right or wrong, and that's everybody has to do it. That's not my side, Mohan. You're a person like you. If everybody think person like you to share the knowledge to everyone, that's the way we can start. That's the way we can change. That's the way we can change our bring our knowledge up. Whatever we don't know, we learn. Thanks, Mohan. It's a very good suggestion. But who are listening, 70 participants are here today. Who are listening, please come out. Please come out and talk thoughts and experience. We can allocate the time. Maybe we start at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I can allocate the time. At least one person can come and start to discuss. Please welcome that one. Mohan is a good suggestion. Please, everybody do that one. Mohan, please put it in the home life group or social group or other groups, and invite them to participate. Honestly saying, I like to open up this one. I did open up this one to ask them to come to the training, but only one person came. Because it's still pandemic, nobody want to come. I really want to have the coffee meeting as usual on Wednesdays, and this Saturday meetings. I want the agents come and sit. For new agent, at least come and sit front and ask me questions. I wish that one, but I don't want to invite that one because of the pandemic and this and that. But Mohan, your suggestion is very good. Please, you start. You started. Please put in the message for the group. Tell at least one agent to come and share the knowledge. Thank you, Mohan.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And who want to ask other question, Rashna?
So my question is I know suppose if my clients are looking for pre-constructions and we do not have access to that, and I keep on getting some emails from other. So how do we approach those agents? How do we get those pre-construction access?
Ashna, you understand you are a self-employed person.
Yeah.
You have to go out and look for it. You are sitting home, nobody going to give you the access. You have to go to the builders and you have to ask for it. I have a client, can I bring it to you? That's all come from your efforts. If other agent can sending the email to you, then what you are doing it at home? You are not working the Tim Hortons or McDonald's. Somebody walk in and ask you, can you give me a black coffee or white coffee? You are a real estate agent. You have to go and look for the opportunities. That's come from you, not nobody else. I know even one of the new agent, he sent me the message saying that even a WhatsApp group, I'm participating in the VIP program in Brimley and Ellesmere condo. And many agents asked me, how come he get? I said, go and ask him. Go to the builder. That's my answer again. You had to go to the builders. You had to go to the builders and you had to get the connection by yourself. Nobody going to get the connection and give it to you. Real estate is a self-employed field. Your efforts give you money. Anything else, guys? Girls? Okay, that's it for today. See you next training. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Whoever asked, very good question. Very good question. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.